Welcome to a special Jace Media Music video interview. I am your host, Justin Smolison, proud Jace contributor from across the pond. My guest today is Genevieve Rhoda. There's her name. She is the fantastic singer for a metal quintet out of Australia known as Temtris. Their brand new album, Queen of Crows, is available now worldwide from our brilliant friends at Wormhole Death Records. Now, you may remember our interview with Genevieve 2 years ago when their last album, Chaos Divine, came out. And I gotta tell you, I think Queen of Crows is even better than that one. That one was fantastic. So we're gonna talk all about the new album, a familiar face returning to the lineup, and what's in store for the band in 2026. I can give you a little preview. You can see it right here. Queen of Tours is coming to the UK May 15th, 16th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. We're going to plug all those dates later. So if you are part of our wonderful local Jace Media Music local audience, you have another chance to check out Temtris and see what they're all about. Quick warning, I did have to record this interview while I was a bit under the weather, and it is a little funny to hear my voice several octaves lower and a little bit more nasal, but we had a lot of fun with it, and it was really great to reconnect with Genevieve. You are hearing a clip of one of the lead singles called Scars of Betrayal, and you're going to hear a couple more clips later on. I'm so excited to present this interview. Let's get to it. Jace Media Music audiences worldwide, please welcome, all the way from Australia, the singer of Temtris, Genevieve Rhoda.
It is such a pleasure to be rejoined by Genevieve Rhoda, also known as Genevieve Roberts. She is the singer of Temtris, the fantastic metal quintet out of Australia. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to interview me about Queen of Crows.
Of course. No, you're being modest. I beg you on a almost monthly basis to get back in touch with me. And because of the 15-hour time zone difference, it's 6 o'clock here. I think it's 8 o'clock with you.
It's actually 9 here now, 9 o'clock.
Over there.
So daylight savings threw everything out of whack.
Right. So and yeah, that's coming up. And then, but so much has happened since the last time we spoke. You got this wonderful album out from Wormhole Death Records. It's called The Queen of Crows. And the songs are fantastic. I feel like you might have exceeded expectations after Chaos Divine.
It's funny. A lot of people have said that. We were really, really concerned that they were not going to top that, what we delivered with Chaos Divine. It's tricky trying to get things right and knowing if you've got things right and still be honest and true to your own musicality and what you want to bring to the table. So, yeah, but the reviews have been amazing.
As well they should. Do you hear that saxophone in the background?
Oh, no, I have a snoring pug here that's probably making the same sound.
That's okay. So this is certainly one of the more unique interviews that I've done just because of the location. And then just to set the stage for us here, Chaos Divine was a concept record. Queen of Crows, not exactly a concept record, right?
No, not a concept record, but I always have a theme to write about so I can create stories out of my songs or give me topics that I can focus on. And this one was more about life in general with originally the album was going to be called Consequences, but Kill Switch Engage beat us to the announcement and they had Consequences in their new album title, and hence we had to change our title and it became Queen of Crows, as one of the goddesses we looked up is actually goddess of fate, and we thought that sort of led down the trail of consequences. So we decided to go with that theme, and that's all the songs are written about consequences in life, whether they be good or bad on your decisions you make or others make around you.
Absolutely. I think that's such a great turn of events for you. it makes the whole concept of consequences more enigmatic. And you have a song on there called The Risk, which I think encapsulates that very, very well. You've got the guitar work, the shredding, and I work, full disclosure, I work at the Risk and Insurance Management Society, so that one stood out to me. But the power in your hands, keep holding.
That's right.
I loved it, and I thought that one was a great. I was actually a little surprised it didn't open with that one, because it was just such a banger. But if you want to talk about that one a little bit, I would love to learn a little bit more about that song.
Yes, that one I actually wrote about us trying to get overseas and struggling to get people to support us or promote us to take a risk on us to go overseas. And in the end, I decided to, basically, I'm going to do it myself. We took the risk to book ourselves, and now we're going over for our third time.
Right.
It's like, that's basically what it's about. Stop sitting back and bitching and whinging and get off your ass. And if you want it bad enough, find a way to make it work.
You're a bootstrapper, Genevieve. You're a bootstrapper. I love it. Now, so you also did this the song called "The World Is Bleeding Out," where you're in the desert, or what looks like a desert, and you're in the slightly revealing post-apocalyptic outfit. And do you still have sand in your shoes from that video shoot?
Oh, seriously, it's so funny. We went and did a show. I can't remember who it was with. It might have been Ripper Owens recently, and I put my boots on and I was walking around going, there's freaking sand in the toes of my boots still. I know Fox had to literally get the blower back and blow out his guitar case. Nick had sand in his drums because it was quite windy that day and it was very hot. So we all got sunburnt. We all got sand everywhere.
That looked like a tough video to shoot. Where did you shoot it?
It's actually in a place called Newcastle, and it's called the Stockton Sand Dunes. And people can actually go visit there and do touristy stuff because it looks so amazing. And it's funny because when we first started talking about making an album, I'd actually just watched the Dune movies, and I was like, I would love to bring some of that concept into that vibe and feel, because I love the musicality even in that movie, just the darkness and the heaviness of it. I'd love to bring some of that into this album, and we managed to do a tiny bit of that, which is cool.
Oh, well, I definitely picked up on that. I love those movies like that. I didn't know anything about Dune, and I watched the new ones, and they had me completely locked in. So you did a great job paying a little homage there. And so you've got that one, and then Scars of Betrayal, you haven't seen it for now. Right?
Yeah, that's a tough topic, that one. That's actually written about a personal experience with one of my own children self-harming due to bullying at school.
Can't have that.
And last year I almost lost a child through bullying. So that's one for all if you're an adult or a teenager or a young child who is being picked on and bullied to the point where you are hurting yourself because you are in so much pain. That's what that track is actually about. So it's when I sing that, it brings a tear to my eye because it's very close to home. So yeah.
Yeah, so you're really bringing the raw emotion in that. I mean, I heard it anyway, but I didn't know the deeper level
Content.
Yeah, because if I'm remembering correctly, it's your vocals that we're hearing first in the song, and so you're setting the tone right there.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, let's also, we're doing this for Jace. Then we want to have a little fun here, and I'm gonna pull up bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up all the cool stuff that you've got going on, because before I do that, how was your last trip to the UK? Because that was the last time we spoke. I think it was in 2022 or 3.
Yeah, it was for Chaos Divine.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, we had a fantastic time. We nearly didn't get let into the country. It was interesting. Got held up by the border patrol. It's very confusing trying to organise as an Australian coming into the UK because technically we're allowed in there, but they didn't know what to class us as when I said we're coming in as Australians to play some shows, but it's our first time. We're probably not making any money. We're just coming to test the waters, and I've got some letters from some venues saying they've invited us, which is said online to do, and then the Border Patrol were like, we don't know what to put you under. You need to come in for an interview. So they pulled us up and sat there in the interview room for a while going, are we actually going to make it to the UK?
Really?
Very scary.
So you didn't go the rock star route. You didn't go, don't you know who I am? I'm the singer of Temtris.
No, they walked in, the guy walked in, Border Patrol suit, like, who am I talking to? And I'm like, yeah.
Was it one of those situations where the other guys in the band, everybody else took a step back and you were just standing?
Pretty much. But it was funny because I was like, we're only going for a few shows, and I said we literally didn't apply for a visa because it said not to because we're Australian citizens. We're only there for a week, we're not earning a ton of money. So it just said, just turn up and basically bring some letters from the venue saying you've been invited in to play, which is what we did, but it just threw these guys out at the border what to tick at the box when we're coming in. So they literally said to us next time we come over to just go on a holiday. It's so funny. But we had
so that's what's coming up. Now that I've got my stuff there. So those shows were good, right?
We had an absolute blast, and it's an amazing country to drive around and visit. It's so going from London out to Whitchurch, like that town is just amazing, and I can't wait to go back and do it again and see more of the UK. I'd love to do, further up and see other places, but it's just in a 2-week window. I just can't fit it all in.
So speaking of which, we got the dates up here right now. I apologize for the crudity of the fact that you can see the window pane on the left there. But so on Friday, now we're several months ahead, but time moves by very quickly these days. The first date is Friday the 15th at the Cart and Horses in London, then Saturday the 16th at the Griffin, Bristol, and then we've got the Gifford Arms in Wolverhampton. All these places I've never heard of. And then that's on Thursday the 21st. The next day, you got Friday the 22nd at Percy's Cafe Bar at Whitchurch, which you were just mentioning. And then Saturday the 23rd in Yorkshireman, Sheffield. And is it possible that more dates are going to be added, or is this it for that show?
Yeah. If we can fit a few more in, we will. It's tricky fitting in dates, of course, when a lot of promoters don't want to book weeknights. So it makes it tough. As you know, it's hard even for bigger bands to pull crowds these days. So taking a risk on a smaller band touring around, it's got to be worth their while to lock us in. So we'll see if we can get a couple more dates sorted. I will definitely jump on them. It's just finding the venues that play metal and want to have us.
Excellent. And then reasonably priced. Looks like £12 at the door for £12 for advance tickets. That's reasonable to me. Then you've got this date also, the 7th of February in Australia. You're going to be at the Bridge Hotel in Rozelle.
Yes. Yeah, that's a metal festival that they're putting together, and it's going to be a great show because it's going to have a real lot of mixed genres from your hardcore to your black metal and us being the traditional power metal band. So it's going to be an awesome night, that one, with it'll be good to mix all the genres up and reach a few new people, I think, because there'll be people there that wouldn't normally catch maybe a power metal show. And I love checking out new bands as well and seeing what they're like live, because it's always better to hear a band when they're hitting the stage and see what they're like when they actually play their stuff in front of you and get the vibe and the emotion of the music. So it'd be cool.
Yeah, the festival's totally rock. I'm sure you're gonna be fantastic there. And it's worth mentioning that the gentleman in the hood over there, he's your guitarist, Nadi, and he has rejoined the band after a brief departure. There was no animosity, so you brought him right back into the family, right?
Yeah, he was dealing, when we got back from our last tour of Europe, he was dealing with all the stress of what was going on in Iran with his family, and he was very, was very hard for him to know that his family was in danger, and it was very stressful. We were due to be recording, and just the overwhelming things going on with his family overseas, he just could not focus on doing an album at the time and needed to take a break. So being family that we are, we all, let him do what he needed to do, and he recently jumped in to help us go on tour for the Queen of Crows around Australia, and he said, if you want to come back, there's always a place for you here. And we just had a video chat with him the other week, and he was like, I'm ready to do it. I want to jump back in. I miss playing with you guys. We have so much fun. And yeah,
that's great. Because I follow the band on Facebook, and you've been doing these almost daily updates.
Yeah, so, try to keep up.
Yeah, no, and that's great. It's helpful for somebody like me.
Yeah.
So we've got all that, and so you've got this wonderful catalog to be playing from. You're going to play a lot of new songs, though, I'm guessing, on these shows. They got to get out there. They got to breathe a little, right?
Yeah, that's it. And it's definitely be good to, we did do a lot of them when we toured Australia. It's just working out what everyone else also wants to hear. they're having 8 albums now. It's actually hard to pick and to choose what songs to play, and everyone wants to hear something different. And even though we might be sick of playing them, when we're going somewhere like the UK, those people may not have heard us play them live before, and they want to hear that stuff. So it's always fun trying to get a set together to keep all the punters happy.
Yeah. So you've got so much excitement now, because I know there were some delays, but you're back. Your Wormhole Death Records has released Queen of Crows. It's been out for a few months. Everybody seems to be loving it. I personally think I have Ritual Warfare and Chaos Divine. I think this is the best of the 3. So I hope that you will take that as a compliment. I think they're all great, but this one, I think, I don't know, maybe there's something, maybe because it's not a concept album, and maybe that's just what I need songs where I didn't have to think about a character or anything like that.
Yeah.
And but so is there, you've got the plans for the tours in the spring. Is there anything else special that's coming up that you are at liberty to discuss here today? Because this is coming out in November.
Yeah, look, at the moment, like I said, only thing we have is like what's been announced for the UK, but we have also we're playing Hell on Air in Europe, and that's in Belgium. And that'll be exciting because we get to go and play with Burning Witches again on the same day. That is the 3rd of... Just trying to think what date it is. It would be 3rd of... Looking back at my dates. 3rd of May. So that's Hell on Air. And we're actually... It's funny because we're actually going to be supposedly on the bill with Dogma, who's causing a lot of controversy at the moment. So we'll see whether they actually turn up and still be on that show or not.
So May is going to be a big month for you and the players in Temtris. Well, I think that's fantastic. I think we're going to repost this as we get closer to help generate a little bit more enthusiasm. You can understand why 8 months out, some people might not be ready to buy a ticket. But as they get closer, they're going to do it. Yeah, and then on a selfish note, I'm going to let you go on a moment, but on a selfish note, when are you going to get your visas in order to play the U.S.?
The issue with the US is, I don't know if you realise, but it's $5,000 a person for a visa.
I know. I asked this of every band that. So
25%. Yeah. And literally getting into the United States is actually not so easy anymore. And I'm seeing a lot of bands being rejected or not getting their visas approved, and to put money on the table to try and get the visas and then have it knocked back. And we're not a rich band, so to find $25,000 even just to walk into a country is... We've got a lot of fans in the US, and I would love to go there, but it's just impossible money-wise. I know even Primal Fear was saying they couldn't even afford to go.
Right. Yeah. So I say it in jest because I know it's kind of an absurd request, but I did also want to mention briefly, and I think you know this. I interviewed Darker Half recently, and they had great things to say about you. And so, it would be really cool if maybe all the Australian groups that I like Elm Street, Darker Half, and Temtris get together and bring the AU over to the US, do something like that for us.
Yeah, that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
It would.
Aussie
It would.
tour.
I'm gonna make that my New Year's wish.
Take the risk.
Yeah, well, it's not bad. I'll be there. You guys got to take the risk. But anyway, so is there
know.
anything? I'm gonna let you go, but the Queen of Crows is an excellent album. Is there anything that you would like to say to anyone who's now hearing Temtris for the first time because you've got such a powerful new set of songs?
Yeah, look, just take a risk on the album, have a listen, check it out. There's lots of layers in the song, so you might listen to stuff first time and then listen to it by the time you hear it again and again. There's actually quite a lot of intricate guitar pieces in there Fox has written, and yeah, it is quite a heavy emotional content in there too. And I'm always happy to chat about the music and the band if you want to reach out to us. And if you want to purchase the album, you can message me or jump on the Temtris website, and we're always happy to chat. So appreciate the support from everyone.
Of course. And then I guess the last thing, I mean, I know the album just came out. We're always hoping that Temptress is going to do a follow-up, that maybe something comes up down the line, right? A couple of years?
We would love to say, yes, there's always going to be another album. I know Nicholas, my drummer, was joking about doing a double album. And I said, dude, how much time and money do you think we have? we're always looking at writing. I'm always thinking about concepts and, what we can write about, because that's, as a creative person, that's what you do. So we will see. It all depends on whether we can keep the Temtris family happy and moving forward in the future. So I would like to say, yes, there will be more albums. It just depends whether we can financially keep things moving, as it's getting harder for bands to do that these days. So
Right.
yeah,
Well,
we'll see.
I hope you keep the creative machine rolling, and I look forward to catching up with you again. And as the tour gets closer, Jace is going to repost this, and we'll hopefully be able to get some more butts through the door there, more feet through the door. Butts and
fantastic.
feet through the door. Yeah, that's it.
That's right.
Genevieve,
come to a show and have some fun.
Exactly. Genevieve, it's been such a pleasure to see you again. Thank you. We're going to plug the dates on in the outro, and travel safe.
Thank you so much for your time.
Special thanks again to Genevieve Rhoda of Temtris for joining us here on Jace Media Music. The brand new album is Queen of Crows. It is available worldwide from our friends at Wormhole Death Records. At the top and during the interview, you heard the song Scars of Betrayal. We also played another single, The World is Bleeding Out, and now you are hearing a song that we referenced during the interview called The Risk. These are all fantastic tracks and are emblematic of the high-quality metal you will get when you buy Queen of Crows. Visit Temtris.com for more information and follow them on social. They're very active there. Now, on to tour dates. If you're lucky enough to be in Australia in February, well, guess what? On February 7th, 2026, they will be at the Bridge Hotel in Rozelle for the Infernal Metal Festival. On May 3rd, they will play on the final day of the Hell on Air Festival in Belgium. They will be in the Netherlands on May 10th for Sunday School Metal Presents, and that will be in Huskamer. Hope I said that right. And then the Queen of Crows tour returns to the UK. On Friday, May 15th, they will be at Cart and Horses, London. Saturday, May 16th, the Griffin, Bristol. Thursday, May 21st, the Gifford Arms in Wolverhampton. Friday, the 22nd of May, at Percy's Cafe Bar in Whitchurch. And Saturday, the 23rd of May, at Yorkshireman in Sheffield. Links to the shows and the dates are on this interview show notes. I also highly recommend Temptress's back catalog, available on Wormhole Death Records. I'm talking about Chaos Divine and Ritual Warfare, which I have. They're tremendous records. No matter what you do, please be sure to make legitimate purchases of the music, merch, and tickets to support hardworking artists that want to travel the world and come to you like those in Temtris. Folks, head on over to the revamped JaceMediaMusic.com page. We've got reviews, we've got interviews, we've got all kinds of great music coverage. Check out some of my recent video interviews with my all-time favorite metal singer, John Bush of Armored Saint and Category 7, the drummer of Category 7 and Shadows Fall, Jason Bittner, guitar heroes like Herman Frank of Victory, and Soren Anderson, guitar player for Glenn Hughes. I've got a brand new interview with Meridian, a fantastic metal band out of Denmark, as well as Fate's Warning singer Ray Alder, DK Ravel of Kickin' Valentina, and members of Avatarium, Captain Blackbeard, and more. Special thanks, as always, to our fantastic founder and publisher, Glenn, and all of my Jace Media colleagues. And of course, special thanks to you, the worldwide Jace Media music audience. Look for Jace Media on Facebook and X and Instagram and basically every social media channel you can think of. I am Justin Smolison, proud Jace Media contributor from across the pond. Thank you again for tuning in. Keep coming back to JaceMediaMusic.com. I've got more video interviews on the way.